What if some of your favorite movie scenes made the actors wish they'd never filmed them? It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. From cringe-worthy moments to behind-the-scenes regrets, we're revealing 20 iconic scenes that actors deeply regret. Get ready for shocking confessions that will forever change the way you view these unforgettable films. Number 20. Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct. Sharon Stone's famous interrogation scene in Basic Instinct became iconic, but the behind-the-scenes story adds complexity. Stone has said she felt uncomfortable with how the scene turned out. She had been told it wouldn't be explicit and was assured she wouldn't be fully exposed. Following the director's instructions, she removed her underwear for a few takes, assuming the shot would be less revealing. However, when the film was released, she was shocked to see a more revealing take included without her consent. Feeling betrayed, Stone confronted director Paul Verhoeven, even slapping him in frustration. The incident remains a controversial example of the need for clear communication and consent in filmmaking. But Sharon Stone wasn't the only one to have a regret tied to a famous scene. Can you imagine signing on for a role only to find out it was a huge mistake based on a simple misunderstanding? Number 19. Kate Winslet in Titanic. The iconic French girl scene in Titanic, where Rose poses for Jack, became a pop culture moment, but it also left Winslet with mixed feelings. At the time, she agreed to the nudity, believing it was an important emotional moment in the film. However, as the movie's fame grew, fans increasingly fixated on the scene, often asking her to sign images of it. What was meant to be an intimate moment evolved into an uncomfortable part of her legacy. Winslet later expressed regret, feeling objectified by the attention. She explained that the experience made her rethink taking similar roles, highlighting the emotional toll fame can take. If you were in Kate Winslet's position, would you have accepted that role knowing the impact it would have later on? Why or why not? Comment and chat with me. Number 18. Bill Murray in Garfield. Bill Murray, known for his iconic roles in Ghostbusters, Caddyshack, and Groundhog Day, shocked fans when he signed on to voice Garfield in the year 2004 Garfield the Movie. The movie, based on the long-running comic strip about a sarcastic, lasagna-loving cat, seemed a departure from Murray's usual smart, offbeat comedies. It turns out the decision was due to a mix-up. Murray thought the film's writer, Joel Coen, was one of the Coen brothers, the famous directors of Fargo and The Big Lebowski. Excited to work with them, Murray agreed to the role, only realizing the mistake too late. This mix-up highlights how even seasoned actors can end up in unexpected roles due to simple errors. But while Bill Murray's mix-up led him to a lasagna-loving cat, another set of rising stars found themselves tangled in a horror film that almost derailed their careers. What do you do when your big break ends up being a nightmare? Number 17. Matthew McConaughey and Renée Zellweger in Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Matthew McConaughey and Renée Zellweger had a challenging start with Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation in the year 1994, a low-budget horror film that didn't gain much critical acclaim. Both were rising stars at the time, McConaughey from Dazed and Confused and Zellweger from Reality Bites, and worried that the film might impact their careers. They even considered legal action to limit their involvement in the film's marketing. Although the movie later developed a cult following, it was initially a significant career challenge for both actors. McConaughey has since reflected on it as an early misstep, while Zellweger tends to avoid discussing it. Today, the film is seen more as a pop culture oddity than a traditional horror film, and both actors went on to have successful careers, proving that one misstep doesn't define a Hollywood star. This role haunted McConaughey and Zellweger, but not everyone's regrets come from such strange projects. Imagine being a huge star, then suddenly finding yourself in a role that makes you question everything. Before exploring, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just hit the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel so much. And if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Number 16. Jim Carrey in Kick-Ass 2. Jim Jim Carrey, known for his comedic roles, played the vigilante Colonel Stars and Stripes in Kick-Ass 2. However, after the tragic Sandy Hook shooting in the year 2012, Carrey reconsidered his stance on the film's portrayal of violence. Although he had filmed his scenes before the event, he later expressed regret in a Twitter post, stating that he could no longer support the level of violence depicted in the movie. His decision was not a rejection of the film itself, but rather a shift in perspective, as he realized the potential societal impact of violent media. While some fans were disappointed, many respected his decision to stand by his beliefs, illustrating how personal growth can lead to difficult yet meaningful choices. Sometimes, a change in perspective leads to unexpected regret, even when you're already in the middle of filming. But can regret ever outweigh the need to stand by your beliefs? Number 15. Kurt Russell in The Hateful Eight. In The Hateful Eight, the tension between Kurt Russell's character Hangman and Jennifer Jason Leigh's Daisy peaks when Hangman smashes a guitar in a fit of anger. However, the guitar was not a prop but a priceless year 1870s Martin, lent by the Martin Guitar Museum. Russell, unaware of its value, followed the script and accidentally destroyed the instrument. Leigh's shocked reaction was genuine, and Russell was upset to learn of the mistake. The museum, shocked by the loss, later decided not to lend instruments to film productions again. But as Kurt Russell's guitar mishap became an unforgettable moment, another actor was struggling with the emotional weight of a beloved role, feeling disconnected from a character that had defined his career. Was Daniel Radcliffe's portrayal of Harry Potter truly as unwatchable as he claimed? Stick around, because the real reason behind his self-doubt might surprise you. Number 14. Daniel Radcliffe in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Daniel Radcliffe spent nearly a decade playing Harry Potter, a role that brought both pressure and challenges. While Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince in the year 2009 was a global success, Radcliffe felt disconnected from his portrayal, calling it unwatchable, despite praise from fans. The film's darker themes made the transition difficult for him, and in a year 2012 interview, he shared struggles with emotional complexity and fame. Despite his self-criticism, his performance resonated with audiences, cementing Half-Blood Prince as a standout in the series. Radcliffe has since come to appreciate his legacy, and his later roles, like Swiss Army Man and Guns Akimbo, highlight his growth as an actor. Number 13. Emilia Clarke in Game of Thrones. Emilia Clarke became famous for playing Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, but the role was emotionally challenging, especially with some of the more intimate scenes in the early seasons. Although she expected moments that would be provocative, she wasn't prepared for the emotional impact they would have. One scene in Season 6, where Daenerys emerges from a fire, made Clarke feel uncomfortable, especially with her parents watching. Clarke later struggled with constant public scrutiny, feeling self-conscious in the digital age. She wished she had more control over how her portrayal of Daenerys was depicted. Over time, she took on roles that focused more on her acting skills, such as in Last Christmas in the year 2019 and Secret Invasion in the year 2023, becoming a more versatile performer. Sometimes, actors can become so deeply tied to one character that it's hard to escape it. But what happens when that character overshadows everything else in your career? Number 12. Robert Pattinson in Twilight. For Robert Pattinson, Twilight was both a breakthrough and a challenge. The role of Edward Cullen shot him to fame, but also became something he often poked fun at. He has described playing the brooding vampire as a limiting experience and felt disconnected from the character. As his career progressed with roles in films like The Batman in the year 2022 and Tenet in the year 2020, he distanced himself from Twilight, frustrated by its emotionally restrained character. Still, Twilight remains part of his legacy, with fans continuing to associate him with Edward Cullen. Number 11. Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson in 50 Shades. When the 50 Shades book series became a hit, a movie adaptation was inevitable. Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson were cast as Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele, but their experience on set was challenging. Despite the film's financial success, Dornan and Johnson openly discussed their difficulties. Dornan shared on Jimmy Kimmel Live that he wasn't particularly fond of the films, while Johnson, in an interview with Today, explained that the chemistry between them felt forced and that the pressure to appear close made things more difficult. Their comments highlight that even Hollywood success doesn't always lead to personal fulfillment. Which movie scene do you wish you could unsee after hearing about the actor's regrets? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Number 10. Jennifer Lawrence in Passengers. Jennifer Lawrence, once known as Hollywood's girl next door, has had a career full of iconic roles, including The Hunger Games and Silver Linings Playbook. However, her experience filming Passengers in the year 2016, where she shared an on-screen kiss with Chris Pratt, left her with lasting regret. The kiss sparked media attention, especially after Pratt's divorce from Anna Faris, with some speculating that the film might have contributed to the breakup. Lawrence has denied these claims, but the media attention turned a professional moment into personal drama. The situation highlighted the blurred lines between art and reality in Hollywood, leaving Lawrence questioning her control over her image and the narratives others created. Number 9. George Clooney in Batman and Robin. George Clooney is known for his charm and successful career, with roles in Ocean's 11 and Syriana. However, he has expressed regret over his portrayal of Batman in the year 1997 film Batman and Robin, which was a commercial failure and was criticized for its campy tone. Clooney has joked about ruining the Batman franchise and even apologized to creator Bob Kane. While the film is often seen as a challenging part of his early career, Clooney's self-awareness and humor have helped him bounce back, achieving success in both film and directing. Despite the lingering regret, he often jokes about the movie, showing his resilience and ability to move past it. There's a big difference between having regrets and owning them. But could one poorly received movie impact someone's entire career? For Clooney, it was all about perspective. Number 8. Elliot Page in Juno. For Elliot Page, one line from Juno in the year 2007 has become a source of regret. In the film, his character, Juno, sarcastically dismisses the name Madison as a little gay, which at the time seemed like a lighthearted joke. However, after transitioning, Page now views the line as harmful. He has said that, at the time, he lacked the language and understanding to recognize its negative impact. The line now feels like a reminder of his past, when his identity didn't align with who he is today. Though he regrets it, Page has used this experience to empower himself and others. His transition and journey toward self-acceptance have reshaped his narrative, making him a strong voice for the LGBTQ community. While painful, the moment reflects how far he has come, and he sees it as part of his growth and embracing his truth. Number 7. Terence Stamp in The Phantom Menace. Terence Stamp, a legendary actor, entered The Phantom Menace excited to be part of the Star Wars universe and to work with rising star Natalie Portman. However, his experience turned out to be less than he expected. His character, Chancellor Valorum, had an important role in the Senate scenes, but when it came time to film, Stamp found himself speaking to a piece of paper on the wall instead of interacting with Portman. She wasn't present during the scene, which left Stamp feeling somewhat disconnected. He later joked, sometimes even Jedi Masters have to talk to walls, showing his ability to laugh off the situation despite his disappointment. This disconnect reflected the mixed reception of the film, which, while a box office success, was often seen as a letdown in the Star Wars saga. For Stamp, the lack of interaction with Portman was just one of many challenges. His experience highlights how unfulfilled expectations and misconnections can affect even the most high-profile projects in Hollywood. Want more insider secrets and celebrity drama? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on the next scandalous revelation. Number 6. Channing Tatum in G.I. Joe. Channing Tatum's experience with G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra in the year 2009 and its sequel G.I. Joe: Retaliation in the year 2013 highlights the challenges of multi-picture deals. Despite the film's box office success, Tatum regretted joining the franchise. As an up-and-coming actor, he felt limited by the action-heavy, CGI-driven roles, which he viewed as a paycheck job. Though contractually obligated to appear in the sequels, Tatum expressed frustration, and the filmmakers were firm about his commitments. However, his experience with G.I. Joe led him to reassess his career. It ultimately pushed him toward more diverse roles in films like 21 Jump Street, Magic Mike, and Foxcatcher, allowing him to explore comedy, drama, and complex characters. Tatum's journey highlights that commercial success alone isn't enough. Personal choices and creative freedom are key to long-term career growth. Number 5. Burt Reynolds in Deliverance. Burt Reynolds, known for his tough guy roles, famously performed his stunts, even when they were risky. One of his most regretted stunts was from Deliverance in 1972, where he injured his tailbone while paddling a canoe over a waterfall. Though the scene became iconic, Reynolds later admitted that doing the stunt himself led to years of pain and kept him from working on other projects. He regretted not using a stunt double, acknowledging the impact it had on his health and career. While Deliverance remains a key part of his legacy, Reynolds learned that some stunts are best left to professionals. Sometimes physical pain isn't the only lasting impact of a movie role. For Burt Reynolds, a stunt became a source of regret. But what happens when that pain stays with you for decades? Number 4. Ben Stiller in Along Came Polly. In Along Came Polly, Ben Stiller's character, Ruben Pfeffer, has an awkward scene where he's unintentionally exposed at the beach. Though meant to be humorous, Stiller felt uncomfortable with the level of exposure. He voiced his concerns to director John Hamburg, who promised the scene would be cut if it didn't get laughs in test screenings. Unfortunately, it did, and the scene stayed in the final film. While the audience found it funny, Stiller often jokes that he wishes he'd used a body double to avoid the embarrassment. In comedy, it's easy to laugh it off. But some scenes, no matter how funny to the audience, can be a source of genuine discomfort. Ben Stiller learned this the hard way. Number 3. Edward Norton in The Incredible Hulk. When most people think of The Incredible Hulk, they picture Mark Ruffalo in the MCU. However, Edward Norton originally played the character in the year 2008 film, which faced creative challenges. Norton envisioned a darker, more serious Hulk, focusing on his internal struggles, while Marvel wanted a lighter, more accessible film for the broader MCU. This difference in vision led to creative differences and Norton's departure from the project. Norton had planned a 2-part story arc exploring Hulk's origin and Bruce Banner's inner conflict, but the studio preferred a more traditional superhero film. By the time the film was released, much of his vision had been altered. Norton later mentioned he felt some regret, acknowledging that the final film didn't match his original ideas, though he didn't fully blame the creative differences. Creative differences can make for difficult filming experiences, and sometimes those differences leave an actor with lasting regret. But does a creative vision belong to the actor or the studio? Number 2. Taylor Lautner in Twilight. During the Twilight craze, Taylor Lautner became famous for playing Jacob Black, the shirtless werewolf. His physique, especially his abs, became a key marketing point, often overshadowing his acting skills. Lautner later admitted feeling trapped by this image and frustrated by being typecast. After Twilight, he tried to break free from shirtless roles and sought recognition for his acting, but even in films like Abduction, he was still seen as Jacob Black. Over time, Lautner stepped back from the spotlight, focusing on smaller projects and roles that allowed him to define himself beyond his famous character. His journey highlights how Hollywood can fixate on an actor's image, limiting their career potential. The question remains, what could Lautner have achieved if he hadn't been so strongly associated with his Twilight role? Number 1. Burt Reynolds in Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights in the year 1997 was a critical success for its bold exploration of the adult entertainment industry. But Burt Reynolds, despite his Academy Award nomination, despised it. He found the pacing disjointed and struggled with the younger cast. His behind-the-scenes tensions, particularly with Mark Wahlberg, led him to boycott the film's promotional efforts and fire his agent for recommending the role. Despite the film's success and cult status, Reynolds never fully embraced it and continued to express regret over his experience. His disdain serves as a reminder that even successful projects can leave actors feeling misunderstood. And finally, when it comes to regrets, no one knew better than Burt Reynolds. His experience on Boogie Nights is a reminder that sometimes, even the most successful projects can leave actors feeling misunderstood. If you found today's video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is very important to us. Be sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen. You're sure to love the content we bring. Please leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. Thank you for watching and see you in the latest video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.